Well, my name is Rosemary Anderson.
My name is Will Anderson.
And when did you start looking or thinking about long-term care insurance?
I want to say about at least 7 years ago. About 7 years ago. We thought it was a smart thing to do. And it really was.
So how old were you when you purchased the coverage?
Late 50s, I guess. And she had me, Teresa came over, but I had a different view of insurances. We had some insurance, but I really didn't understand why this would benefit me and, why I would spend this much money for something. Because I had always worked and I'd always been healthy and, was always on the go and just, you think you're invincible and nothing's ever going to happen to you.
And then?
Well, I had a different point of view because after moving here to Florida, Mother had gotten sick a few years before and boom, 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 she was gone. And then my father, a few years later, in a matter of a month, he was gone. And things would have been a little different had they had this, And those things preyed on my mind. And I thought, how lovely to be able to stay in your home, to be together, not have to go to a nursing home if you don't need it. That was just such a smart thing because, your home is everything to you. It really and truly is. And I think you get better there.
So did you talk Will into doing this?
Well, partially that, and then once Teresa she explained it quite well. And I started thinking, you might think you're invisible, but you're really not. And I ride a motorcycle, so, that's something people say maybe I shouldn't be doing at my age, but, I'm not going to necessarily give that up as long as I'm able to physically do it. So.
And so what happened then? One day you were out cutting trees. You tell the story.
I tell the story. You're going to tell the story.
Well, I'll tell you, this was really a traumatic thing. The very last cut he was going to do in a big tree out front, he fell 20 feet and flat on his back, broke his wrist, and broke his back in 6 places. He had to get lifelined to Tampa. We're so far away, and our hospitals don't handle trauma like that. So when I finally got there is Will, and his wrist is taken care of already. But I had 3 surgeons look at me and say, doesn't look real good. He could end up a vegetable. And I said, what? And his eyes opened then. And they said, well, maybe we need to rethink that. And of course, after that, the second surgeon said that from the neck down, he could be paralyzed. And with his right hand, he grabbed me, and they said, well, maybe not. Maybe we have to think that one over again. But, he did have a really hard time. He almost passed twice with his heart in the hospital before they could get him stabilized to get him home. And the best thing was coming home. He was on so much meds that he doesn't remember a whole lot at the beginning, but I certainly do. And having him there so that I personally could take care of his personal needs was marvelous because he responded to me. And the people that came in to help were wonderful. And I couldn't have had that support without my benefits.
And so what did the long-term care insurance pay for, and how long did it pay?
Well, I think it paid for quite a few months. And he had to have a walker and a bed.
I was in a body cast for 12 weeks, and I'm sitting out here by the pool now, and I couldn't make one lap around the pool even several months after I got back. And like she said, our home is everything, and just the fact that I could sit out here on my lanai and watch my pool meant a lot to me. Sorry.
No, that's okay.
But when you're home, and I could personally take care of him, but keep everything nice, and part of our policy said I could have help to keep my house clean and the laundry done, because he needed every single thing done for him, you know, at times even to be fed. And so it was a long process, but keeping things normal, keeping them healthy, it's a good thing.
And now you have coverage for, most people assume that long-term care insurance is something that you really only use when you're old, when you're, you know, quite old and in nursing homes. And you're living proof that it's something else. So, in your own words, how would you describe to others why they should consider it?
Well, if you have respect for yourself and your loved ones, you'll do this, because you want to continue to have your quality of life. Just because we advance in age doesn't mean that we don't enjoy living our life the way we do. And it allowed us to come back, for him to ride his motorcycle occasionally, for us to have parties, for us to enjoy our neighbors, for us to enjoy our friends, and especially our family. Because now we have 2 more grandchildren that he would have never seen before. So this helped us to do all of this. And I do need to say thank you again to Teresa and to staff, because they held my hand through every single aspect. And the most important part, they were so respectful of me going through this. And I don't want to cry, but I'm happy.
Thank you both. Thank you. I mean, yeah, I'll turn this off. Thank you.